is Friday, October 23. Welcome to CGN News. The Trinidad and Tobago government Thursday said a report by a team of its experts had found that the Venezuelan oil storage vessel, the FSO Nabarima, was not tilting in the Gulf of Paria as had been reported earlier. Energy and Energy Industries Minister Franklin Khan said that the local team had boarded the vessel, the FSO Nabarima, anchored in Venezuelan territorial waters, and had submitted its report to the authorities. Khan said that the results of the team have indicated that a genuine risk of that nature does not exist. He told CMC reporters that the Trinidad and Tobago team had been able to do a flyover before landing so as to ensure that the vessel was not tilting. Khan said that the FSO Nabarima had been anchored in Venezuelan waters for the past 10 years. Cuba says that the island has lost nearly $5.6 billion in 1 year as a result of economic sanctions imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez decried the growing number of sanctions suffocating the island, a topic that is on the agenda for next year's UN General Assembly session. The blockade is an increasingly cruel attempt to deprive our people of basic goods for their survival, Rodriguez said. He said the political hostility has reached feverish levels. The U.S. $5.6 billion loss occurred between April 2019 and March 2020, compared with $4.3 billion the previous year. The sanctions, coupled with a sluggish economy, the pandemic, and increasingly active hurricane seasons, has led to a growing shortage of food and occasional fuel scarcity on the island. A weakened Hurricane Epsilon moved northward Friday over the Atlantic Ocean, a day after skirting well east of Bermuda. Epsilon's top sustained winds fell Thursday to 85 miles per hour, dropping it from a Category 2 to a Category 1 storm, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said. The Miami-based center said Epsilon was about 195 miles east-northeast of Bermuda at 5 a.m. Friday. Bermuda weather officials on Thursday evening had discontinued a tropical storm warning for the Atlantic island. Over the past couple decades, meteorologists have been increasingly worried about storms that blow up from nothing to a whopper just like Epsilon. Forecasters created an official threshold for this dangerous rapid intensification, a storm gaining 35-mile-per-hour wind speed in just 24 hours. This year's season has had so many storms that the Hurricane Center had turned to the Greek alphabet after running out of official names. With the United States economy contracting and the United Kingdom facing economic fallout from the ravages of COVID-19 and uncertainty related to Brexit, travel research experts are urging the Caribbean to consider diversifying beyond traditional markets. In a presentation at the recent Tourism Recovery Forum, Head of Travel Research at Euromonitor International, Caroline Bremner, noted that the future of Caribbean tourism looks grim. Bremner said that in the best-case scenario, it could take between 3 and 5 years for the U.S. and U.K. economies to recover, depending on the outcome of a vaccine for the virus. The Euromonitor top researcher suggested that the region turn its attention to whom she tagged the New World travelers. These include countries such as Colombia, Argentina, Poland, Hungary, Saudi Arabia, Peru, and Slovakia, whose citizens spend robustly with travel agencies and tour operators. The Commonwealth Group of Nations has issued a statement about the situation in Nigeria, saying it is following with deep concern alarming reports of attacks on demonstrators in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland said the Secretariat was in close communication with the Nigerian government and called for an end to all violence and restoration of peace in the country. The Commonwealth is a voluntary association of 54 independent and equal sovereign states which share the background of being former colonies of the United Kingdom. The Commonwealth Secretariat supports member countries to build democratic and inclusive institutions, strengthen governance, and promote justice and human rights. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari spoke to the nation about the unrest that has gripped the country in recent days without making any mention of the deadly shooting of peaceful protesters that prompted international outrage. In a short televised speech on Thursday, Buhari called on Nigerians to stop demonstrating and engage with the government, Al Jazeera News reports. The shootings have been widely condemned, but he did not speak of them at all during his address. He called on Nigerian youths to discontinue the street protests and constructively engage the government in finding solutions. "Your voice has been heard," he said, "loud and clear, and we are responding." For the second time in 2 months, a panel of federal judges on Thursday blocked President Donald Trump's effort to exclude people in the United States illegally from being counted during the process of divvying up congressional seats by state. The New York judges ignored the question of the order's constitutionality and said it was unlawful. The Trump administration has appealed the New York decision to the Supreme Court, which has agreed to hear the case next month. The Associated Press said the Department of Justice, which is representing the Trump administration, didn't immediately respond to an email inquiry on Thursday. North Korea has warned its citizens to stay indoors over fears that yellow dust, which blows in from China, could bring coronavirus with it. The streets of the capital, Pyongyang, were reported to be virtually empty on Thursday following the warning. The secretive state claims to be coronavirus-free but has been on high alert since January with strict border closures and restrictions on movement. There is no known link between the seasonal dust clouds and COVID-19. However, they are not the only country to suggest a link. The BBC's disinformation team notes Turkmenistan also alleged virus-laden dust was the reason citizens were being told to wear masks. U.S. officials said Thursday that Russian hackers have targeted the networks of dozens of state and local governments in the United States in recent days, stealing data from at least 2 servers. The warning, less than 2 weeks before the election, amplified fears of the potential for tampering with the vote and undermining confidence in the results. The alert describes an onslaught of recent activity from Russian state-sponsored hacking groups in recent days against state and local networks, some of which were successfully compromised. The advisory from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity Agency functions as a reminder of Russia's potent capabilities and ongoing interference in the election, even after U.S. officials publicly called out Iran at a news conference on Wednesday night. Questions swirled yesterday about the origins of Pope Francis's bombshell comments endorsing same-sex civil unions, with all evidence suggesting he made them in a 2019 interview that was never broadcast in its entirety. The Vatican refused to comment on whether it cut the remarks from its own broadcast or if the Mexican broadcaster that conducted the interview did. It didn't respond to questions about why it allowed the comments to be aired now in the documentary Francesco, which premiered Wednesday. In the movie, which was shown at the Rome Film Festival, Francis said gay people have the right to be in a family since they are children of God. Those comments, the Associated Press said, caused a firestorm, thrilling progressives and alarming conservatives, given official Vatican teaching prohibits any such endorsement of homosexual unions. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.